Yeah, Demon. I think I know that game that you're. That's like that sort of like first-person shooter, FPS perspective for first-person perspective, like crazy game. I've heard a few people say good things about that one. It's oh, maybe you're talking about a different game. It's a roguelike. Okay. I don't know that I've actually heard much about that one. Yeah, between time playing Crawl and doing dev stuff, I don't have. I always usually am like, I could play these other new games. Glowing boots. Glowing boots. I have boots of running. Those are pretty decent. I didn't pick those up because my inventory is full. Feels bad, man. EV ring, that's pretty nice. Not as good as +5 protection. What if we put on the old, what we got? Oh yeah, BBC still has some miscasts, but you know what? I can take 5 EV, sure. Sure. Got a lot of swap rings here. Got a swap for every situation. Goddamn enchant weapon. Don't want more stealth. Choice paralysis the game. Wow. Damn. The Papyrus have greatest risks and utility. I guess Malign Gateway is kind of a risk. Malign Gateway's level 7. That's a good one, but I am level 7 with this armor. I mean, we could get there eventually, but we are not there yet, that is for sure. Just gonna drop. Okay. Well played, Vault Warden. Well played. Lock the door on me. Oh. Another ghost, huh? Doesn't look like we got too much in the old loot department on this one. Lig pot, short bow, arrows. Sorry, bud. I think you're gonna have to sit in your tomb there. There is that one Fury of Okawaru one that's a lot scarier. It had some stuff that... I think it really only had like a might pot though, to be honest. Well, that is... the Mikey pot. No. It does not... they don't use enhancers. I would recommend you give them, if you can, probably give just give them something to. If you can gift them something like, I forget how the gifts. Can you gift armor? Armor would be good because it's gonna die. I mean, they're not really the best allies to try to keep alive anyhow, but you can still gift stuff to them that you wouldn't otherwise be using. But yeah, just armor so that they can actually stay alive, or a shield. Yeah, stuff that's actually going to keep them alive because they're just so flimsy. They're just going to die, and it kind of doesn't matter. Shields would work fine. Shield is pretty good for those guys. I mean, you don't want them to be in fighting, but they're going to do it anyway because they're stupid. They're dumb. Stupid orcs. Swamp dragon scales. Well, I mean, you could do worse. Hey, you know what's nice about the swamp dragon scales is our poison means that, well, that's not that big of a deal, but those stupid those storm callers, I think they still can summon drakes. So there's no drowning, but that's relevant if you get swamp. By the time you get to the end points of the game, it's probably not going to be too relevant. There's not even like much water. Although on the other hand, though, like them not getting confused is actually very good because they can get killed not from just drowning, but from fighting, from infighting, and they can also hit you. So it's not the worst thing. That's one annoying aspect is clouds wreck your allies. And of course, since it's Biog, you have to micromanage that to no end. Alright, I could traipse off to Slime and get a third rune, but I'm not really desperate for any loot. One thing I'm looking out for is something nice to increase, what is, oh, I've had Sticky Flame this whole damn time. It would have been a good spell to cast in various situations. Honestly, it probably would have been better in a lot of situations than BBC. But, oh well. Cannot yet cast Bolt of Fire. Do I have On Wiz? What if I have On Wiz? Can I cast on Bolt of Fire? Kind of cast it, but scary miscast, so I think we'll live with the EV for now. These are not outstanding defenses, but they are certainly good enough. I have a shield from Asterion. As far as one-handed weapons goes, there's a ton of them. If I decided. The thing is that I'm mostly concerned about Zot. Yeah, I'm not like a Biog expert or anything, but the way I play those ally gods is I try to avoid playing Biog at all because he's so annoying and unfun, but I would try to focus on making warlords and just keeping a couple of those guys adjacent, for experience purposes, and get some warlords and mostly keep them out of the way and recall them when I need them. And as far as the sorcerers and high priests go, if one of them's nearby, it's like whatever. For Ured, that's also the style I play. I sort of keep them mostly off level and then recall whenever I get into a nasty situation. It's much more fun that way. You're not constantly walking around with the silly army. You can make the undead trash summons though with Ured pretty much whenever you want. Thank you for the follow, Arnaud Mix 2. Biog is a god that I would love to see reworked. All the ally gods really, they're just Fedos is the one that most needs it, I think, and that's the one that we would like to fix first. Love Biog. There are some fans out there. I would like it to be, I don't know. I think the cool aspect that the theme that Biog has is really like this big army, maybe with some really, with a few really heavy hitters, and they like kind of do some marauding temporarily, and then they're out of your way. So something kind of analogous to Lucy's Corrupt in some ways, but I'm not sure how you could sort of do that. And then like it would be they would last a little while. It would be a big piety cost, and then they would, you know, poof, they would like be summons, maybe something like that. And also recapture just some of that like recall some. I mean, they're basically kind of like summon type gods. Other than that, I'm not sure what else Biog brings to the table. Smite is, you know, it's fine ability. Yeah, I mean, some people want that. You could take that and just take out management. I just hate having to recall them, and I don't mind gifting them stuff, but I really hate like, oh, recall this one because this one needs XP and this one doesn't have XP, and now you move this one around. It's so pointless. So I would like it to be more like your red style gifts, I guess, for that. And then you could maybe modify them and give them weapons. I think that would basically be better. And in the weapon gifting system could work the way similar to how it does currently. If they died, you could have the revival just like how you do currently, but not this thing where you like, oh yeah, you train them up from a orc warrior, and then you know that amount of tedium is just totally not fun. It belongs in another style of game, it's more of a NetHack kind of style to roguelike gameplay. Problem with your red, I mean, the whole ally god in general is kind of a scummy, relatively imbalanced thing. But yeah, I mean, I think for your red, what would be kind of neat, Ontoclasm sketched out an idea some time ago where it was like, it wasn't such a silly, huge army that you got. It was like you had these sets with like, it was sort of like a configuration, and it was like your constant sort of army, and you had the upper tier, the middle tier, and the lower tier, and the lower tier would get replaced gradually, and the higher tier were harder to replace. He had something pretty detailed that sounded better than the current, less balanced system that's in place now, because your army just gets so big now. On top of replicating Animate Dead, which is definitely something that needs to be looked at for that god. You could make Enslaved Soul more prominent and not just this additional thing tacked on, like remove the Animate Dead stuff maybe and make Enslaved Soul a little bit more of a focus. In Hellcrawl, actually, Ured and Hep got merged, and so the soul you enslave is basically like your ancestor, which is it's a kind of a neat idea, but it loses the other allies, so it's a very different style of Ured, but it's a neat idea. But for me, the biggest priority is Fedos as far as ally gods go. He's so annoying. I would target him before necessarily the others. I would also like to see Jiva fixed up some. There's a lot of gods in this game, and a lot of them sort of get developed at a different. Oh, nice depths entry there. Probably should have buffed before going down into depths. But this is a kind of a convenient stair dance because it's like a natural kill hole. Right. It's just it's terribly not well balanced. And you really want that feeling where like your army is like shifting in strength level over time, maybe, instead of just it's ridiculous all the time. If you do a basic careful level of management, you've got 2 bone dragons, 2 profane servitors, all these vampire knights, and like yes, you can lose enough of them for to matter, but you have to be doing very stupid things. And most players, granted, do fairly bad things. Boy, my title keeps changing. So I hear a lot of people tell me how, oh yeah, you will lose your army. Oh wait, these are zombies, I can't. Oh boy. Don't Anti-magic is actually kind of nice for him, but it's fine. But yeah, my last Ured Ascension, I had basically my army intact. I think I had lost one of my high-level guys. Maybe I had even lost two, but I certainly had a sizable army still intact when I was on D1 ascending. You have a whip. I'm gonna give you some. No, I always miskey that every time. My keys are a failure. No IMB for you, my friend. Anti-magic in your face. Uh-oh. Lightly has enslaved soup. You don't know what you're getting into if you start enslaving soup. Be very careful. You enslave the wrong kind of soup. Plus 10 play to Ponderous. Any Che fans in the audience? Anyone like to take it easy? Song melee characters, you have to put a lot of careful into management to keep. Nope knows. Mr. Plank loves Che. Oh, how could you do it to me, Mr. Plank? Definitely have to put a lot of careful into keeping them alive. Yeah, you do. You have to put management into it, but it's not especially careful. I mean, it's somewhat careful. Depends on, kind of depends on like what the situation is. You want to start taking more care as you get to the end, as you get into Zot. One, because it's of course easier to lose, because then your allies tend to be less strong, of course, relative to some of the top tier stuff you're fighting, so it's easier for them to die. But also your opportunities to gain enough piety to get them restored are becoming more limited. So that's really where you want to take a bit more care, because you can kind of get yourself stuck. Ah, but you can't hit me. That's alright. I think I'm going to retreat back to my... Apparently I have a kill hole right here. Che is pretty neat. Mikey had a fun sketch for what you could do to make a Che that... What was... I have to remember. It was kind of a neat idea, honestly. Oh yeah, it was it was like Che would it was going to be about Che giving you stuff from the future and then also from the past. And it was like you were going to have this ability where you would have monsters, and it was like this major god ability where it would like rewind their HD, and also for monsters that like have a progression, you know, like deep elves have different kind of classes. Orcs are probably the best example. It would like rewind their class potentially, so like you'd go from an orc warlord to an orc knight, an orc knight to an orc warrior, and then for other monsters that had some kind of class progression, it could revert their class. Otherwise, it would just sort of lower their HD. And so it would be like a debuff it would apply that way. And I forget what the other aspects of it were. It was a cool take, though. He was going to retain some of his current abilities as well. I forget which ones Mikey wanted to keep, but I did like that ability. That sounded fun. Both flavorful and ancient. Yep, exactly right. Yeah. Tengu Reaver would probably become a Tengu Conjurer and stuff like that. I mean, Red Devil to Red Imp, yeah, why not? That's Hellmonk's favorite. That's Hellmonk's favorite progression. Every time he sees a Red Devil, he's going to use New Che's Rewind Time ability to turn them into Red Imps, which he also hates, but not as much as he hates Red Devils. I have spells, don't I? Oh crap. I don't know if there's another one left or not. I'm just gonna go up here and rest and... yes there was. Yeah, go ahead, blink. You like doing that, don't you? Mr. Bogart. Look at this fault. It's a snake. Oh, come on. Oh yeah, I like this. Oh. I guess, finesse, why not? Maybe it's a bit overkill, but okay with it. Storm Dragon. Or Shadow Dragon. But I mean, a lot of what I'm talking about is really spitballing, and you know, Che is in a sense fine. You know, I would consider him a challenge god, but there's some issues too about what god strength should be in Crawl. In a lot of ways, it would really be nice if god strength wasn't this crazy spread from, like, you know, the Trog, Gozag, Nemelex down to, you know, stuff that is functionally can be very weak, like how Sif and Ve and outright challenge gods that can be kind of worse than Atheist. It would be cool if god power level just weren't so high in a lot of ways. I find when I worship a lot of those really powerful gods that they have a tendency to make Crawl less fun. But that's a big idea and a big project to try to, like, part of the problem you run into is that Crawl has such a big pantheon of gods, and they have to actually be meaningfully different from each other. So if you make them closer together in difficulty, you're going to run into the issue where they're going to be similar in terms of what they do, to the point where it's not going to feel like, potentially where it's not going to feel like there's the differentiation there should be. So it's a kind of a thing where you can't just, like, nerf stuff without thinking about what you're doing to the overall course of the game. Is this another remix? This is I feel as though there's like, yeah, there's so many Donkey Kong remixes. The most remixed soundtrack, Donkey Kong Country. Nice dig. Actually, it was a convenient kill hole. Or, not a kill hole, but a dig spot. I wonder if any of my teammates are playing Crawl right now. Stealing my viewers. Oh wow. There's Mikey. He's got an OP wizard of Kiku. Oh yeah, for sure it's deserved. I mean, I wouldn't say anything about it bad about it. It's Wheels with the comeback run. Wheels with the Mummy Ice Elementalist. He lost one, I think he did. Wheels the Carver. He's almost returned to his previous point. The absolute madman is on his comeback run. Who else we got? Did Advil finally? He's been busy and on vacation. Traveling. Worms of Cant. Oh no. Not the Vampire Earth Elementalist Worms. You know he's going to be casting Petrify all the damn time, and Petrify stabbing. That's just the kind of person he is. I'm ashamed to have that kind of behavior on my team, but there's nothing I can do about it. Actually, I need to go buy oh no, not octagons. Reese is petrified of octagons. Have you been terrorized by some of Minmay's vaults? Minmay is a notorious octagon vault maker. Anti-magic, but I'm just gonna hit this guy with pain because he'll be dead. Man, that's skill shifting. What is that? Elliptic, I thought you fixed this. Why? Why does this happen? Is it just my piety level? Is that why? Invocations 15.4. It must be piety shifting. I guess that's what it is. That's kind of an annoying aspect of it. Yeah, there have been a few. I love the theme of Picellus, but there's a question of which of the core ideas behind him would actually really work. That is an open question. It's 72 plus 72 club god. We have to erase the memory of that from the internet. We can't have anybody know about our great mistakes like the Picellus supercharge and rings of plus 120 rings of slaying and melee bug. Well, that's a pretty good stopping point for now. I'm going to raid you guys over to Hellmonk, known on Twitch as Heck Priest. He is doing some kind of challenge run. I'm not sure what, but I'm sure he'd appreciate a raid. So more DCSS. Unusual for me to host another DCSS streamer, but the timing, the stars aligned. I'm not sure if I'll continue this guy tomorrow. I definitely need to finish him next stream. If not tomorrow, the day after. I've been doing more streams this week, tournament week. So maybe Thursday, more likely Friday, hopefully no later than Saturday, if it gets delayed. And we will finish this guy, start the next one, and continue the streak. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Be sure to check out the tournament, and wish you all the best of luck there. We're gonna give him a raid message of let's go with the raid message of 20 wins, and you have to do 15 rune bat form. Feels good, man. So please hang out for that raid and put that message in his chat when you get sent over, just to torment him, because when I hit 20, oh yeah, that's what's gonna happen. He's not gonna be able to get out of that. So yep, I'll see you guys in a bit. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good rest of your day.